Well, it was a crazy opening to the market this week on Sunday. Things have, I guess, stabilized a little bit. So we're going to jump right in and take a look at see where we're at today and go from there. All right. So good morning, everyone. Futures Brazil here, 10:24 a.m. on Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a good start to the week. I didn't make a video yesterday because things were kind of wild. The market opened on Sunday night, and we had a lot of volatility because of all the Iran stuff over the weekend, and the president announcing a naval blockade at the Strait of Hormuz, and so there was a lot of like just pent up volatility that triggered. I had a bunch of trades open from the end of the week, and quite frankly, most of them went into pretty big loss. So I ended up closing a lot of them and just kind of like reset again. And, I mean, I typically don't have an issue holding trades into the weekend, but it's a little bit of a lesson learned that in this environment right now, that may not be the best thing to do. So it is what it is. But I've got a couple of trades open now that pretty much have got me back to even where I ended the week anyway. So and like I said, things are a little bit more stable now. So we'll see how it goes. So we'll just jump right in here. I guess since we're on this profile here, we'll start on futures. So we'll just look at our grain markets. And again, with grains, I'm using now is the 4 hour chart and the stochastic RSI indicator set at setting of 3355 just for trend following. And that's all I'm doing. And so if we look right now at wheat, um, we've got probably a little buy signal triggering here as price is now broken above these highs right here. And so, and actually, I want to show you. All right, we'll do that. It's not on this chart, but so because you can see here, we were going down. Now we've kind of broken these equal highs. Got a strong bullish candle here. We have the stochastic RSI coming out of the over bought zone, which is if you're trending. I mean, I only take these in the direction of the trend. Looks like we're trying to start another uptrend here, so only looking for long. So that would be a long, and I think in probably in real time here, I'll probably just take this trade. So we'll just put on one contract here, and we'll put a stop at 581 to $550 risk, and there we go. So we'll see how that one goes. All right, but that's wheat. On to corn. Um, Corn's kind of looking the same way, but I'm not going to take this one. We it looks like maybe we did put in a higher low right here, and we're sitting kind of at these equal highs right now. So we'll see if we're going to get a trend reversal there, but I'm probably not going to do that one today. But that's just an example of where I would kind of look at this. And we do have these equal highs, so you do have to watch for like price manipulation and a strong reversal. Or maybe throw a wick here to try to fool breakout traders at this level, and then it ultimately goes down because we do still kind of have, this major swing high that led to this low. So this is really still in control here. So I'm not too interested in taking this right now. That's why the wheat trade's a little bit of a risk because it's pretty much the same thing if we go back to wheat here. But you can see on wheat, actually, it's not really the same because we already broke this swing high. We had this swing that led to this low. We're already well past that now. So it's a little different than corn. And so we'll just see how that goes. Um, Soybeans continues just to stay in this big fat range it's been in since really since the middle of March. It's been almost a month now that we're just sitting inside of this range. We had one little fake out attempt here. This was what, last week or about 10 days ago, a couple of weeks back, where we had this one fake out right here, big wick, snap right back into the range. And we had a couple of little small attempts on the upside of the. This was Actually, when the market opened yesterday, we had this little fake attempt right here. You can see that wick, and then price again snapped right down into the range. So I'm still not interested in trading this thing at all while it's stuck in this range. Okay. And if we go over to soybean meal, we have been trending up nicely. We're throwing a big bearish wick right now. So either way, there's no trend here because I'm not going to fight this uptrend. But then again, this is not necessarily a place to take a sell order either. If we go to the daily chart, it does look like, though, we have some really strong resistance at these levels. We have prices come up to here a few times now, and it does seem to want to reject off of this level. So that's pretty interesting. But I'm not going to take that. I'll wait and see, if it goes down today and then we get some kind of pullback with a lower high and then, get this stochastic RSI to come up into the overbought area. And then maybe I would think about a short if it looks like it's going to, go down. But to me, there's no trade in this right now. And soybean soybean oil. You can see the trade I took yesterday. I closed it out at the end of the session, although it is still going down right now. I don't really have another signal, but this is the signal I took yesterday. You can see right here the stochastic RSI was in this overbought area, and that's where I took the trade. That was right at the that was pre-market. No, actually, this is the 4-hour chart. That was at the opening yesterday. So if we go to the hourly chart, yeah, it's 9 o'clock. So that's the opening candle. I took that trade yesterday and got out at the close. Again, it is still going down right now. It's come back down a little bit, so it's back to the low it did put in yesterday. But that was just a simple trend following. This is kind of range bound, but I still kind of like the setup anyways. It's not as range bound as soybeans are, so I took it. It did end up being, a pretty good trade. The other one that I took yesterday was on the Swiss franc, and I don't think that trade is still running. No, it's not. I don't know why it doesn't show where I closed it, but I took a long on this yesterday. I did close it yesterday afternoon, somewhere probably I think around these highs here. Um, but I don't know why it doesn't show the closing mark. But that was the other trade I took yesterday in futures was on the Swiss franc. The Swiss franc has been rallying up pretty strong here. So as far as the rest of the currency futures go, um, on the 4-hour chart, I don't really have any other setups right now. Um, there's the euro, there's the Aussie dollar, there's the New Zealand dollar, which has really come back from a major down move. British pound, you can see all of them against the DXY are just rallying. The dollar's really has been hit really hard the last few days. There's the yen continues to strengthen, which the Bank of Japan's probably not happy about. And then there's the Swiss franc. So there are no other setups on the 4-hour chart for me on these currency futures. So again, that one I just took on wheat will be the only futures trade I take today. All right, so if you flip over to Forex, um, I do have quite a few on my watch list. You can see I'm still going back and forth here and deciding what to do with the CSI. I've gone back to just using one CSI indicator instead of the overlaid ones that I was showing you last week. Um, I really just think it's a personal preference. I don't think one has any advantage over the other. To me, I just still like the simplicity of just one indicator. And so I'm currently using the 10 period look back. You can see right here, 10. So again, the default setting on this indicator is 7. I've just decided to use 10. Uh, I don't know. It's just a nice in between 7 and 14. I think anything beyond 14 is probably too long. I played around a little bit with the 21, but I do think that's probably a little bit too long. So 7, 10, 14, very minor difference actually on the chart. So I just split the difference and I said 10, right? So That's really how I came to that conclusion. And I do have the live data feed turned on, which, as I've talked about, all the live data feed gives you is we got to go to the daily chart now, anyways. So we'll start over here. The live daily feed just basically allows the current action to the on the right edge of the chart to update. If you turn off the live feed, then we're on a daily chart. That means these lines, this line up here, the right edge of this line, will just sit and not update until the candle closes at 5 p.m. New York time. But when the live feed is on, these lines can move up and down and adjust. But again, it's a daily chart, so probably wouldn't be a lot of movement. But I have seen them adjust, in real time. So if you turn off the live feed, like I said, you're only going to get an update at 5 p.m. once the market closes. So honestly, you really only have to look at the chart once a day, after the candle closes and see if, anything that maybe you were watching has triggered. Whereas if the live feed is on, you could potentially get a setup mid-session. But again, the downside to doing that is that that could be a false signal where, it's adjusting in real time and it looks like there's a signal. And then by the time the candle closes, it's reverted back to the pre-signal status, and you end up, caught holding the bag and not a real good trade. So it's whereas if you wait for the candle to close, um, it's probably will help confirm a better trade, but you could have a late entry if the market really moved during the time during that current session where you didn't have the live feed turned on. If the market moved a lot and then you jump in at the end of the day when the candle closes and the lines update, that could potentially get you into a late setup. So there's good and bad to both. I don't trade it in a vacuum. So even if the live feed is showing a setup, I'm still looking at the price action here and making a determination. So CAD Swiss, there was a good signal here. This, that really kind of triggered probably back last Thursday, right around here. And, you can see it is still going down. And, we have the strengthening Swiss. So that's definitely helping. I'm not going to go through every pair. Let me just take a quick look at the ones on my watch list. So we've got, I have US, Canadian, and basically what gets them onto my watch list. Well, when I see them come together, then it'll go to my watch list. Now, coming together either could mean that getting ready for a continuation, there was a pullback, and I'm waiting for them to diverge off of each other and continue the current trend, or I'm waiting for a definitive crossover, or one kind of like goes kind of straight up, and the other one starts pointing down. Then that's potentially like a reversal type trade. And so on dollar Canadian here, you see the orange line is the dollar is really getting hit. The CAD is also going down. So even though this is, you can see the market is definitely going down. Um, with the weakness in the dollar, I'm not really, too thrilled about taking this. Again, I'm just following my rules. My rules say, unless I see that divergence, I'm just not going to take it. And so if this is one that I miss, then so be it. So Euro Aussie is also on my list. And you can see I have an alert set, which is on this indicator. I'm not sure how well that's going to actually work out. Let me just turn off the line though, so you can see. And you can see, we just kind of intertwine right now, going up and down. So there's no real direction here. If we look at the chart though, it looks like price wants to go down. And so with this current move right here, you can see the Aussie dollar is the blue line starting to go up and the euro is heading down. And it does look like price wants to go down here. And so this is one I have an asterisk next to that I may very well take this trade today. Even though we already had this kind of fluctuating here, crossing back and forth, this sideways motion here. So this is one where if you turn off the live feed, let's see what the looks like if I turn off the live feed. Yeah, if you turn off the live, you can see they're just kind of sitting together right now. So this is one where you could wait until the end of the day today and see if there's actually follow through on this sell signal. Okay. But it with the live feed on, again, the live feed on is actually showing this as a trade right now, right? Where they're crossing over, and there does look to be kind of a bearish setup right here. We had went down. We had basically a two candle. It was this weird candle yesterday at the open right here, and it looks like it wants to come down here. But my only concern is that these have kind of continued to chop around each other right here, up, down, up, down. So hasn't really made any progress on the indicator. But anyways, this is a perfect example of what the live feed gives you versus not. And so, like I said, there is a trade here right now based on what the live feed is showing, where if I turn off the live feed, there's no trade. It would just remain as a watch. And I would just have to see ultimately how it turns out after 5 o'clock today. So that's just an example. Pound Aussie was on my watch list. I'm not really too thrilled. You can see the reason why is yes, they're close together, but they're both heading to the upside right now. And again, I'd like to see them diverging. So even though this may end up turning out to be the same as the Euro Aussie because they're very closely correlated, um, the Euro Aussie is a preferred signal right now because the pound is also showing up. Now, if all of a sudden this pound line starts to bend down and the Aussie line, which is the blue line, continues to go up, then that would, make it more desirable. But as it looks right now, that's not a trade I would take. Pound Kiwi is pretty much the same as pound Aussie, and Euro Kiwi is maybe approaching a crossover time. This one looks very much like Euro Aussie, right? The only difference on this is we don't actually have a crossover. You can see both of them right now are just kissing each other. We don't actually have a cross yet, and this is with the live feed on. So this is one I'll watch, and it's definitely on my watch list. If I don't take it now, then we'll see what happens at 5 o'clock, and maybe potentially take it later if this follows through and we do get a crossover. All right, then I'm down to Canadian yen. Again, both kind of heading down. The yen is trying to bend up, but it's pretty flat. So it's on my watch list, but I'm not really too happy about it. Dollar yen, again, both kind of heading down right now. A little bit of bend again on the yen, but again, nothing I'm really interested in taking. So I'm watching it. Pound Swiss was on my list, but again, they're both heading up. You can see the pound is still strengthening. And this one, in this case, with the Swiss and the pound strengthening, it is causing a lot of sideways, choppy price action here with them both heading up. And so, again, I'm just going to skip that one. Aussie Swiss, kind of same story, both heading up. Now, this one's good. This is dollar Swiss, which I'm in currently on my funded accounts. And this one just continues to go to the downside. So I think a good target on this is probably at least back here at this big breakout candle on the daily chart. So take a quick look at that. New Zealand, Swiss, again, both heading up, so not really too interested. And Aussie, New Zealand, kind of the same story. So out of all of those pairs, then the ones really, out of all those ones I just showed you, which are the ones that are on my watch list, probably Euro, Aussie, Euro, Kiwi are the two most relevant to me in terms of potential setups. And right now, the Euro, Aussie being the most practical one that I might think about taking. So that's pretty much as simple as it is. I'm not going through the other pairs. I already went through them this morning. And those that I just went through on my watch list I showed you are the only ones that are really currently even remotely close to having a setup. And as you can see, some of them I probably could take off that list now because um, those signals have since kind of gone to the wayside. So, all right. So let's just quickly jump over. This is my one of my funded accounts, and you can see dollar Swiss short right here. It's up about $645, and the Kiwi dollar long up about 313. Those are the only two that I have open right now. Uh, and as I mentioned before, so and again, this is my one of my three funded accounts, and then I also have it open on my personal account too. So. The only thing is on my personal account, I don't have dollar Swiss short. I have euro dollar long, which I took last week. But those are the inverse. They are inversely correlated. So if there's a long on one, there's a short on the other. So even though I'm in euro dollar long, that's essentially the same as dollar Swiss short for all practical purposes. So on that account, I'm just flipped it the other way. So only because I took that trade last week. The dollar Swiss I actually just took yesterday, I believe. Yeah, I took this trade yesterday, 413. Yesterday morning, I took this. So yeah, so that's the deal, guys. That's where we're at right now, and so I think I'm gonna leave it there. We'll keep this short and sweet. But that's the update for this morning. Maybe I'll drop another video later today, and we'll see how things worked out with these. If I end up taking Euro Aussie, which I am leaning towards, and how that one futures trade that I took this morning in wheat, how that ends up going. Okay. So again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Questions, comments, leave them down below if you have any questions on the currency strength indicator. Like I said, it's a custom indicator. I did not create it. I did have somebody else create it. Um, it is available to purchase, not through me. Again, I don't sell anything, but I did talk to the developer and I said, hey, if somebody does ask, what do you want me to do? And basically, I will just put you in touch with him and you can work it out with him. I don't get involved with that. And like I said, I don't sell anything on this channel. Never have, never will, never plan to. It's just not what I do here. This is just strictly for information and educational purposes only. And I'm not, looking to, create a course or do anything that, the other fake gurus do. So, all right. So I'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Happy trading, trade safely. Good luck, and I'll talk to you all soon.